Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second installment of my character guides. This one's going to be on Ning Fei, if you couldn't tell by whatever bait title I put in there to grab your attention. This one's a special one because with the announcement of Estelle and Umeko, Solo and Void character coming up, we may notice now if we look at the roster of characters, we've got Tantu and Estelle covering the Solo, and we've got Jolda, Gwyn, and now Umeko, who will be Flavor of the Month, covering Void. And when it comes to Arc, we've only got one real option. We cut Cable out. He's got really unlucky with his choice of weapons. The pulse rifle isn't that ideal. I say the pulse rifle. The machine gun is pretty bad right now. It's just a bad weapon until it receives some buffs. And it's just not enough to rely on him and his pulse rifle to bring him up. And when we look at Zamway, he's dead in the water character, maybe good in PvP. Atao, not a lot of testing has been done on her. It would take a lot to actually see what she's capable of. I don't think anyone's willing to put it in. So let's go back to Ning Fei here. He is going to be the arc character going forward. So when you are making your pre-made groups and you need an arc breaker, it's going to be Ning Fei. Which is what I think makes him so important now, especially now that we know who's going to be in the next summon. So let's get started. Let's just, the waffle out of the way, let's just get started with a guide. Let's look at the light-linked companions. Pretty clear here. We're going to go Kaba for the increased arc damage. And then we're also going to go Atao for the ability enhancement that she provides on our buffs. So for example, the arcing ability on our shots, and then any of the damage reduction that we get, as well as the acceleration. It's just all around, this is the best combo. There is nothing else really that's comparable. Going on to the weapons, this is what brings, in my opinion, Ning Fei from an low A, high B character all the way up to S tier. It is this exotic crossbow right here. Not even going to try to say the name. Didn't do it last time, not doing it now. It is amazing when it comes to ad clear and boss damage. It has two different modes, depending on whether you are aiming down sight or hip firing. The hip fires over penetrate, so they're obviously fantastic when it comes to ad clear. And then the aiming down sight is increased precision damage, which is amazing. The catalyst is just essentially increasing buffs on these different modes, with the last one giving you a 60% damage increase overall, because it was 90% on an extra bow, but all of your bots now do 90. And then our choice for submachine gun is the Wolfpack. These are not optimal traits. The optimal traits are going to be Annihilation, and then either Black Body or Glutton, depend on if you're going to die or whatnot. But I would personally go for Black Body. I think it is significantly better, because if you are less likely to die, you want Black Body. You could go to the Del 5. It's obviously very similar traits, but I think having the Void here just allows you more versatility to actually clear in different types of elemental bubbles, gives you more like exposure or less exposure to needing a certain character in your group, and it helps if your Gwyn is just focusing on someone else. Next up, we're going to look at the Relic abilities, just have a quick rundown on each. I'm sure you've seen so many videos of it, but Ning Fei is definitely the most underrated character when it comes to PvE. PvP God, PvE God. His abilities essentially all revolve around summoning. Like we look at Side Trick, it essentially will grant you invisibility and then give you a clone. So I'll show you what that looks like in game. It looks like this. And then you can also summon a direction, so you haven't even got a move, you can send the clone forward. And it gives you acceleration, damage resistance, and a Phantom Strike damage bonus. As well as Arc Overload, which allows your shots to spread to up to 5 enemies within a 10-meter radius. Again, massive on PvE. It also applies to the target, if you notice there at the end. We're doing less damage when it's not up. It applies to the current target too, so it will stack back on the target if there's no one nearby, which is slept on by a lot of people. Onto the artifacts. The artifacts are really straightforward. These are not optimal. Please do not take into account what I'm about to show you here. It's what I'm going to show you through the board here. Now, number one, we do want Resolute Mutation. you know, we have all of these abilities. Your clone ability hits grant this damage resistance, but, and this is a massive but, it has been rumored, thanks to, the name is eluding me. The name is definitely eluding me. Thanks to Agent Virus, who's done absolute God's work and basically going through a lot of the artifacts. He's noticed that a lot of the artifacts within the game have been worded either incorrectly or the numbers are off. So the things that we are actually going to go for, assuming that the numbers are actually off on this and it's not providing what we want, is, I'm not going to bother saying the name, but this is amazing considering that, you know, we don't want to get low damage. We don't really have any healing to get back up. We really do just want to stay above that 50% health threshold, and we can do that with clones, our invincibility. We can really play around it. And then this next one is not going to be Benjamin Platesimal 2. We are going to go here for Healing Veil. I just haven't rolled it yet. So Healing Veil is here. Casting movement abilities, in-team restores 5.6% of your health. And if we quickly go back into our relic abilities, you will notice that this is a mobility. And this is also a mobility. Now, the ult obviously isn't, but you know, we've got 3 mobilities, okay? Because we've got double charge on our dash, assuming we've got copy 1. So there's 10% or 20% health, there's 30% health. Just straight back up, you're not going to die. And it recharges fairly quick. Going into the rest of the artifacts. Now, this is hotly debated. I am currently running Rampaging. Again, the numbers on Rampaging have been said to be a bit fudged. However, with double charge, it is quite high numbers. If it is true, this is definitely going to be our best artifact. And last but not least is Rampaging Procession. We have an SMG. We have a fully rapid fire crossbow. It's gonna be Procession. Like 10 hits, 32% damage bonus for the next mag. Like, for reference, we reload, and that damage boost is just nuts. It's just, there's nothing even close. And then that's that for artifacts. I guess for tips and tricks, I mean, I already mentioned it in my Tan2 video, but I will mention it again here. There are ways to cancel reloads on every character in the game by sprinting. So you see it's at 2 right now, right? You reload, you start sprinting the moment it turns 36 and it's cancelled. Alternatively, you can reload, hold the sprint button down and it cancels automatically the moment it's up. Same with crossbow. Crossbow is a bit longer, it's a bit more than halfway, about 3/4, but you can also cancel that. Same thing with abilities. You just get it there, you cancel, fully done. And yeah, no, I think that's just sort of ways to just sort of min-max your damage output. Ning Fei is going to be a must-need as we go further down the line until we get a limited draw art character. He is worth investing into as one of your 3. I seriously do think you should pick 3 characters to actually go into all of this content with. It is very important that you have a variety so you can do all of the solo content and be a benefit to your team. And Ning Fei fills that slot extremely well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the guide. It was a pretty straightforward one, but I think it answers a lot of questions that people have been having. And it's not just recycled slop that doesn't make any sense. As mentioned, this is pretty high level. So to actually achieve a lot of the buffs, you do have to be playing at a high level, you do have to be tracking things. But once you get that down, you will notice that Ning Fei is an amazing part of your roster. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you do subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you have any feedback as like the last video, please do just put it in the description or put it in the comment section below. Thank you. Have a good one.
This is really bad for our assistants. What?